But what many forget 4 decades on was that MTV's success was no sure thing. And this revolution came very, very close to not being televised.
When MTV first started in 1981, a lot of cable providers wouldn't carry it.
It seemed like a pretty flimsy idea for an entire television network to be based on pop music videos.
The music will continue non-stop on MTV Music Television, the newest component of your stereo system.
To survive, MTV needs to persuade more cable companies to carry their upstart channel. Their secret weapon is a maverick from the good old Mad Men days. His name? George Lois. And George Lois is a zen master of the catchphrase.
The guy who wrote, "I want my Maypo."
I want my Maypo.
They just tailored it. Call up your cable company and say, "I want my MTV."
The whole idea of I want my MTV, there were a lot of people who just didn't have access to it. Turning it into this sort of generational rallying cry was so smart.
But MTV knows that a slogan won't be enough. It needs a heavyweight to land a knockout. And MTV exec, Les Garland, tries to tempt Mick Jagger into the ring.
Literally, it was like, we want to get Mick. Okay, I'm going to get on a plane and I'm going to go there and get Mick. And he was a little hesitant, but Les Garland is very convincing.
Money talks. And when Mick Jagger asks for payment, Garland theatrically reaches for his wallet.
Here's $1, come on. And that was it. Mick loved that. And once Mick was in, of course other artists would want to get involved.
They got tons of different people to say, "I want my MTV."
We got these incredible artists to shill for us.
I want my MTV.
I want my MTV.
I want my MTV.
I want my MTV.
MTV has to go for broke in order to not go broke, and they gamble on a nationwide campaign. Soon, America's bored youth hears the clarion call.
It's Uncle Sam. I want you to call your cable provider and tell them I want my MTV. Brilliant.
You wanted your MTV badly.
I remember my dad, he worked at Pacific Bell. They would get calls at their cable stations and be like, "I want my MTV."
I called and said, "I have to have MTV."
You know, and then the parents would find out later, well, how do we get this freaking MTV on here? You know, because the kids had made the call.
America, demand your MTV.
I want my MTV.
The impact is irresistible. One by one, the cable companies bow to the pressure.
I was a kid that loved music, so to be able to have music on TV was like mind-blowing.
I want my MTV.
I Want My MTV tops our charts because it truly empowered 80s youth. Not just to buy something, but to demand something.